So we're starting off this back and bicep workout with pull-ups, one of the best exercises you can do. I'm working on my body weight since I can't do very much. And to emphasize the back more, I'm going all the way up to the end. So I'm going to do as many as I can. So I'm going to go to failure actually to start off this workout. From a dead hang, and then start. So I'm going to start doing sets of 6 actually, because that's a really good number for me. Last week I didn't record my back workout, but I could only do 5, so I'm definitely making some improvement.
Alright, so an alternative to the pull-up is called a negative, and instead of pulling up, you just let yourself go down as slow as possible. And you restart.
Really emphasize, keep on going, really emphasize going as slow as possible, and realize how his feet are like so he can fully extend the arms. If his legs were extended, then he wouldn't be able to go all the way, and he's going to do what his goal would be, so 3 sets of 6, or how many ever sets you're doing in reps, 6. So this is our 4th set of 6. One thing I'd like to mention is that this is a great exercise for the back, one of the best arguably, and it works on your latissimus dorsi, so it's like this bat wing kind of thing. It's what flares out, really makes your back wide. Also, this is like bro science. I don't really know if it works, but you could give it a go and let me know down in the comments below. But people say if you put your hands over here on the bar with your thumbs over top, they say that emphasizes the back. Rather, if I have my thumbs underneath, they say I'm using more biceps and forearms, let's say. And don't worry about who's watching you at the gym. Everyone's doing their own thing. If they're watching you, they shouldn't be there in the first place. So I'm actually doing negatives now because I'm worn out. So I'm going to try to do as many as I can regular, and then I'll go to negatives. Okay, so now I'm going to negatives. And I'm not staying on the bottom very long at all. I want to...
Your muscles don't die right away, so you can be going down slowly no matter what.
So you shouldn't be like this. Most people are like this, and then they'll just go like that. No. You fight constantly. And also another thing, try to bounce off the ground so you're not resting at the bottom. Alright, so we're starting out with seated row. Usually you'll have these kind of bars, but they're interchangeable usually. So if you can, try to go with this. It's a lat pull down bar, you'll find. Just change it really quick. That'll make sure you got a wider grip. It'll work more on your back rather than your arms. And then to make things go a little bit faster, keep it fresh, we're going to be supersetting with back flies on the bench. And we're getting a feel for what weight we can do still before we start doing it. So starting here, wide grip. Again, I don't know if this is true. Put your thumbs over top. Your back should be tucked in and straight. Then pull to your back. Really squeeze those shoulder blades, and don't wrench your wrist when you're up top. So don't go like this, because you're not using your back as much as you can. Squeeze. Breathe too. you really want to be able to control that weight. And another thing is, it's not supposed to be one of those exercises where you really go really heavy on generally. It's usually something you do for 8 to 12 reps, 8 to 20 reps really, but not to say you cannot, but that's generally a rule of thumb. Alright, so we're using 7.5 pounds here. Try to get perpendicular. Alright, we'll just up the weight for that so we can go a little bit down on reps. That was pretty good for the first set. So here's Blake doing the seated row like a boss. See how his back is straight as possible with his lower back tucked. He's going for a good rep number. Put it down. The superset with the back fly is an important thing to note. So the whole purpose of supersetting is to take as least amount of rest in between as possible. Make sure you go slow and control the weight. Look at that focus. So we're starting here at the glorious deadlift, and some things I'd like to mention is there's two different ways to do it. One is conventional, where both your hands are over top, and that puts your center of gravity over your abdomen and your lower back. And sumo actually shifts your center of gravity, but I'm going to be doing conventional today. And when you're in practice working out, you should not use straps, or if you're squatting, no belts, or cleans, no straps. Again, you should only be using straps, in my opinion, during competition or PRs, because you can work on your forearm strength, and there's a lot of studies that's been done that's shown that stronger hands equals a better life, pretty much longer life, healthier life. Now we're doing deadlift, conventional, and then we're doing, I call them bicep row-ups. I don't really know what they are, but they're just like bent over rows, but instead of doing it like you would normally, you're putting your hands like this, and you're pulling up, so you're using more of your biceps. Okay, so starting with the deadlift. Look up the form if you have to. It's really important that you have proper form. That way you don't injure yourself. Okay, supersetting with this. Breathe. of your hands being like this, they're like this. Again, you can vary from here to here, but for this sake, we're just going to start right here. And then we're going to superset really quick with seated bicep curls, seated bicep curls. Work on the long head of the bicep. Okay, and I'm going for 6 again. Do negatives if I can't get all of them. For most of you, these will be easier. Unless you really train back, then the other ones will be easier. Okay, going to negatives.
Again, look how he has his feet dangled so they do not touch the ground when he goes fully extended.
Okay. See if I can do this. The important part for working out the long head, you want to make sure that your arms are extending past your body. That's what really works the long head. Work. Even when you are doing a regular rep, you should really work on the negative. Because when you are doing PRs, not that you'll do PRs on this, but it'll make you that much stronger when you do have a little competition around the gym. As you can see, last week I did this for 9 reps, but I don't think that's gonna happen because you're so worn out from the superset you've been doing. Really rotate that dumbbell in like this and squeeze your pinky. It'll give you a good workout for not just your biceps, but also your forearms. Make sure you keep your head straight. And this is when you're doing any lifts. Like when you're doing shoulder press, you should really keep your head straight. When you're doing bench, most of you will look at one side, and that is your stronger side, which is from muscle imbalances, which is understandable, but really work on it because you don't want to put more strain on your neck than you have to. And it's just going to further develop an imbalance within your neck. Work pivoting.
Okay, so if you can't get one side up, if you're struggling, you should lower the weight so one arm does not get stronger than the other.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. If one arm is stronger than the other, like it more than likely will, you shouldn't be doing just your reps on your left or just on your right. Or you definitely shouldn't be like, well, I can do 10 with 20 pounds on my left, but I can do 25 for 10 on my right because my right's stronger. You should not do 25 and 10. You'll lower the weight, get it down with both arms, and then gradually work yourself up. So even though that I have been cleared when we were doing the chin-ups, I was having some wrist discomfort. Not pain, but discomfort. And I was only cleared about a week ago, so I'm not going to risk anything. So I decided to do something my wrist is more comfortable doing. And those are preacher curls. It's with an easy bar. We're going to do it with our hands outside. And then we're also going to do it with our hands inside on the groove between sets. So the first set will go wide, second set will go inside, third set will go outside, and we're still supersetting with the seated bicep curls. And by changing your grip on the easy bar, you shift the weight between the short head, which is inside of the bicep, and the long head, which is good. You always want to hit your biceps from different angles, just like you want to hit your back and your chest and your abs from all different angles. Okay. Now we're going back to these. You can do these in variations. You can twist. You could just keep them like this. You can also do like a hammer curl variation. I just like to twist because I feel that that gives me the best bang for the exercise. But just for the sake of it, since I haven't done this in a while, I'll do hammer curls this time. See how I can do it. Yeah, so again, since I'm not twisting, it's hitting the biceps in a way they're not used to, which is definitely good. So I'm actually going to start incorporating different variations, because this is actually a lot more difficult for me. Really squeeze at the top, and you're still squeezing your grip. Bar knee ups in my log, but it's where you hang from the bar and you're bringing both knees up. If you can do it, props to you first of all, but then you're going to start bringing up your legs. Then we're going to go over here. I'm going to do leg throwdowns, which are essentially, I'm going to do a leg lift. Then my brother Blake, who's you've seen in this video, is going to throw them back down as hard as he can. I'm going to stop them right before they hit the floor, come right back up. He's going to throw them down as hard as he can. I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to do some bicycle kicks, and then we're going to do 2 sets of each of those. So let's get started. All right. And you have to go, if you start swinging, feel free to put your feet down just for a split second to stop your momentum and go back to the routine. Okay, so now we're going to try this as best as we can. I'm grabbing Blake's ankles to stabilize myself, and I'm going to throw my legs, or raise my legs up, and then he's going to throw them down as hard as he can. That sound is the suction between my skin and the mat. It is not me farting. This is a great exercise, especially if you want to switch it up. You want to switch it up from ordinary leg lifts. Make your lower abs a little bit more explosive. Blake, you can come over here. So now, finish up with some bicycle kicks. So I still got 50 more, 25 on each side. Just taking a quick break, minimal. Now, take a little bit break. That was one circuit. Try to do as many as you can. If you're going for a little challenge, I gave you my little challenge last week. Now, Blake's gonna go, and I'm gonna go, and Blake's gonna go. I'll wrap it up in the workout. You can see by the clock, it is 11:11. There's no excuses for not working out. I work a 6.5 hour shift, 4 days a week. I know it's not a lot, especially compared to you guys who do 12-hour shifts 5 days a week or 6 days a week. But my point is, you can make the time. And there's really no excuses for not getting those reps in. There you go. It's as simple as that. 1, 2, 3.
Eat shit. I wanted to say that the whole time.